in Sheffield. The system's a combination boiler, Worcester 30 CDI. It's cutting out on hot water mode, getting a bit overheated due to blockages, we think, in the plate heat exchanger. We're hooked in through the pump housing. We're actually flushing through the plate heat exchanger by opening the hot water tap, opening a diverter valve, letting the chemical run through the plate heat exchanger at the back of the boiler there. Getting a good flow around the system, returning back to the boiler and back to the power flush pump, going through the magnet just to catch all the rust and debris and corrosion out of the central heating system and out of the boiler. Okay, job's going alright. We've got a few things to do, so we'll get back to you later and explain a little bit more about what power flushing is, the benefits of power flushing, the areas we cover, etc. Okay. Hi Barry, I was just back to this job in Sheffield. It's called a Wars. It's more brown than black, this system. We'll just take a look at the magnet. We've just put it on bypass. Oh yeah, there's some corrosion in there. Not the worst system we've ever seen, but nevertheless, this is what blocks plate heat exchangers up, diverter valves, wrecks, pumps, etc. Heat exchangers, blocks heat exchangers up, and generally causes mayhem in your central heat system. This is what power flushing is all about. Getting this rust and corrosion out of the system. Okay, job's going alright. Getting a good flow around the system through the radiators, through the plate heat exchanger, as we said before. So job's going alright. So what is power flushing? A lot of people don't know what power flushing is. Power flushing is just basically a means of flushing through all your central heating system, through your radiators, your boiler, your pipework, etc. Just getting it all nice and clean. Getting all that rust and corrosion out of the system. The benefits of the power flush are fairly obvious really. Once all that corrosion's out, your boiler's going to get an easier time, fewer breakdowns, more reliable central heating system, quicker heat up times, lower gas and energy bills. You know, if you think of it as an oil and filter change for your boiler, you should generally get the idea. It's basically the best thing you can do to your central heating system, as long as it's done professionally, which we do. This is what we do day in, day out. We believe we're one of the best power flush companies in the country. We just do too many power flushes to not know what we're doing. We only use the best equipment and chemicals, being the Camco range of pumps, magnets and chemicals, you know, so we can get a really good flow around the system and you know, get it really nice and clean. The job takes most of the day to complete. We're not in a rush. We want to get results for our customers, and most of our customers are in fact British Gas customers, Home Serve or E.ON customers. Our prices are up to 50% cheaper than the major utility companies such as British Gas. You will receive a certificate upon completion of the power flush stating the power flush is being done and it's been done correctly to BS 7593 standard. Okay, we're based in Bramall, Stockport, Manchester, and we cover a 60 to 70 mile radius of our hometown. That's why we're in Sheffield today. So we basically cover Cheshire, Lancashire, parts of Stafford, parts of Derby, parts of Nottinghamshire, you know, for our power flushing service. Okay, so if you're within 60 or 70 mile radius, give me a call and we should be able to come and sort your central heating system out. We're fully gas safe registered also, which is very important. We sometimes do have to remove components from boilers, so make sure your power flush company is actually gas safe registered, or, you know, because they may be doing things which they're legally not allowed to do. Very important. Okay, so the job's going really well. We'll also just tell you, if you're having a new boiler fitted, we also do supply and fit boilers. We always power flush the systems. We get called to a lot of new boiler fits, you know, and we're talking, you know, within a few months, boilers breaking down because the systems have not been power flushed correctly. If your central heating engineer is giving you a really good competitive quote for a new boiler, and let's face it, we all want a good competitive quote, but you've got to make sure he's power flushing the central heating system as in this way, because if he's not doing it properly. It's simple as that. A lot of the heating engineers, I'm going to go as far to say as most of them, to be honest, do not power flush the central heating systems as in this way. We're not talking about all central heating engineers, of course, but most of them don't. It's a fact. So if you're, you know, if the engineer's saying, oh yeah, we're going to flush the system through, they may just be flushing it through with some mains tap water, which is no good whatsoever. Maybe a little bit of chemical, but in all honesty, that's just no good. You wouldn't put a new engine in your car and put the old oil back in. Imagine it as that. You need to get all the rust and corrosion out of the central heating system, as much of it as you can, because obviously new boilers are going in, they're going on old central heating systems, being converted, taking the hot water cylinders out, etc. And obviously you're going to get all the rust and corrosion running through your new boiler. So you've got to get it chemically cleaned, fully power flushed. For that little bit of extra money, it's just not worth not having it done. We'll give you an example. We've got many examples, to be honest, but we power flushed our own system 13 years ago. We put our new boiler in. Baxi main boiler. I do like the Baxi boilers, they're my preferred boiler, but in 13 years I've spent £11 on my boiler just putting a diaphragm in it, and that's because I know the system is really clean, and to be honest it didn't even need that part, but I just done it just to be on the safe side. So that's because I've got a clean system, fully power flushed, nice clean water going through there. We inhibit it every 2 years, put inhibitor in it every 2 years, and you know, it's all good basically. Okay, we turn up at central heating systems that are only a few months old, you know, new boilers, they're breaking down because they're full of rust and corrosion. And in all honesty, if the manufacturer sends their engineers out, if your boiler breaks down under warranty and they find rust and corrosion in the central heating system, it could actually invalidate your warranty, and you may have to fork out for some fairly new expensive parts, or even possibly a new boiler if it's got proper into your heat exchanger. So get it power flushed basically. And if you're not sure, if you've had a new boiler recently and you're not sure whether it's been power flushed, just give me a call. We'll come and power flush the system for you. We've done one a few weeks ago. It was popping and banging. The boiler was only a few months old, and you know, we knew what was going on straight away, and we power flushed it out, and the boiler was running brilliantly afterwards. But I couldn't believe how much rust and corrosion came out of the system. And you know, it's a really nice new boiler, and it just wasn't having it because it couldn't cope all the rust and corrosion in the system. It was cutting out on hot water and central heating mode, and when we power flushed it, we got an absolute load of rust out of the system. Okay, so get it properly power flushed. All right. Not only for newer systems, for older systems as well. We sometimes go to systems that are 25, 30 years old, open vented, full of rust and corrosion, practically grinding to a halt. And you know, and after the power flush, we basically revived the central heating system. Sometimes you need a new pump on the system as well. You know, if your pump's 20 years old, or you know, knocking on a bit, you sometimes need a new pump, and a power flush can absolutely completely revive your central heating system, like bring it up like new. So if you don't want to fork out for a new boiler, new central heating system, you just want your old one up and running, good, more efficient, give me a call and we'll come and power flush your older central heating system out. Okay, some of the systems we have problems with, in all honesty: plastic piping, not very good. Microbore plastic piping, we don't like it. Sometimes it doesn't flush successfully, and you sometimes do have to start repiping bits and pieces. You know, if you've got plastic, a 10mm microbore, have a chat with me, because I really need to know a little bit more about the system and what actual problems you're having before we decide to flush it, to be honest. Because you know, if I don't think it's going to work, there's no point in you spending money, and I'll just be completely honest with you. Okay, so yeah, something to look out for. 10mm plastic piping, not very nice. Gets clogged up very easily. Find it in a lot of newer houses as well, to be honest. A lot of the new builds, we don't like it. The inserts take it down to a smaller diameter. A few rust flakes build up, creates a dam sort of scenario. Excuse me. And even power flushing sometimes just doesn't shift it. Okay, so have a word with us if you've got plastic pipe system, because basically, you know, we'll have to give you some warnings about it basically. Okay, so the job's going all right. We'll just get back to you later. Thanks. Worcester 30 CDI. I've worked on a few of these boilers. We actually put a new heat exchanger in one of them in Manchester. That's on one of our videos. If you put Worcester boiler repair Manchester, I imagine you'll find it on the internet. Aluminium heat exchangers, not our favourite, to be honest. We actually do like the Baxi range of boilers. They're our preferred maker boiler. Stainless steel heat exchangers, etc. Okay, so job's going alright, we'll get back to you later. Hi, Barry, it's Pro-powerflushing. Okay, just noticed this, we're not going to identify anyone, but this is basically the commissioning procedure information. And when it was installed in 2005, it says Fernox X100, but there's no actual such inhibitor as Fernox X100. It should read Sentinel X100. Obviously this may be a mistake, but there's no sticker on the boiler or anything like that, so you know, I'd like to bet there was probably no inhibitor added into this system when it was actually commissioned. Just something worth pointing out. Basically, make sure your engineer, if they're doing a service or if they're draining down, adds inhibitor. Sentinel X100, we will be adding it later on. Very important. You know, it saves the rust and corrosion building up in your central heating system and in your boiler. Okay, we'll get back to you later. Thanks. Hi Barry, it's Pro-powerflushing. Back to this job in Sheffield. Okay, there's the watercolour. We've taken the pH and TDS levels, and they're very acceptable. They're not far off tap water, so we're going to add this Sentinel X100. The customer's not here, so we're going to break the seal. We're going to add it into the machine because we can trap it in the system, because we've got some really good isolation valves on the system at the boiler, so that's why we can add it like this. We're going to let it circulate around for 10 minutes and put it all back together. Sentinel X100, prevent corrosion on lime scale. Okay, so we'll just get back to you later. Okay, Barry, there's Pro-powerflushing. Okay, that's his power flush done now in Sheffield. The boiler's fired up, everything's heating up nice. The hot water is really nice now, it's modulating fine, not getting too hot, so we've cleared some blockages in that plate heat exchanger in the boiler itself. Okay, so if you need any power flushing done, this is in Sheffield today. Just give me a call on telephone number 07836 353 985 or contact us through our website. Okay, thank you very much.